Hi guys, today we're going to read Where in the Wild, Camouflaged Creatures Concealed and Revealed. Conceals means hidden. So, because you guys are doing an animal unit, I wanted to do a little bit of animal adaptations. Some of our animals that are in the STEM lab have some interesting adaptations. They have physical adaptations. Those are adaptations that enhance or help them in the wild. Meadow obviously has spines that protect her from predators. The turtles have shells that protect them from predators. They also both have camouflage, which prevents them from being found in the wild. So this book is about camouflaged creatures using colors to hide from predators or prey. When they're prey. Where in the Wild. Imagine that you are an animal in the wild trying to avoid a prowling predator. If it can't find you, it can't eat you. Now imagine that you are the predator silently hunting for prey. If your prey does not see you, you can catch it and eat it. Whether an animal is looking for something to eat or trying to avoid being eaten, or both, it will probably survive longer if it blends into its environment. That's why some creatures hide with their colors. It's called camouflage. An animal can be so well camouflaged that it practically vanishes in plain sight. To stay camouflaged, some creatures change their appearance from one minute to another, from one season to the next. See if you can find the camouflaged animals photographed in their natural habitats. The poems will give you hints. When you think you have found a hidden animal, or if you give up, open the flap to see where in the wild it really is. Then read on to find out more about these amazing animals and their vanishing acts. Okay, so here's our first picture. There's a little tiny creature on the flower. It's a favorite to play with and capture because it's a beetle and it's easily captured. And it's red with spots. If you look at the top, in the middle, it's right on the flower. Boop. Wary eyes. That means cautious. Wary eyes, ears are keen, sniff the air, seldom seen, crouching low in the brush, standing still, watching, hush. Darkness falls on the prowl, rising moon, yip and howl. All right, because it's howling, I'm going to predict that it's some sort of wolf or coyote. Can you find it? There it is, hiding in the trees. The howl of the coyote is a well-known song of the West, but coyotes are more often heard than seen. These intelligent, bushy-tailed cousins of the domestic dog are most active at night when they yip and howl. The scientific name of the coyote, Canis latrans, means barking dog. A coyote's excellent sense of smell, vision, and hearing help it find prey and avoid danger. With a drab reddish-gray coat and the instinct to stand still when frightened, coyotes are easily overlooked. Once the threat has passed, they may silently dash away, running up to 40 miles per hour. Coyotes once lived only in the western prairies of the United States. Some Native Americans call them little wolf. Now they thrive all over North America, including areas where millions of people live. As suburbs and cities take over fields and forests, more and more coyotes encounter humans, but most people never know it. If you're going out for a walk, you might check out the soil and see if you see any footprints. Grayish-greenish. Grayish-greenish blackish tree, the colors you see are the colors of me. Grayish-greenish blackish bark. I'm bumpy and blotchy, part light and part dark. Grayish-greenish, what do I hear? A sound in the branches that's coming too near. Grayish-greenish blackish, yikes! What if he saw me? What if he strikes? Strikes means shoo, grab him real fast. Grayish-greenish, what do I feel? Oh no, he has found me! I'll soon be his! What would rhyme with feel? Starts with meal. I don't know if you can see this one. This one's tricky. Gray tree frog. If you hear a trill in the trees, it might be a bird or an insect, or it might be a tree frog. Most frogs live in water, but some species live in trees, leaping from branch to branch, gripping the wood with their sticky suction pads at the ends of their toes. A tree frog's long tongue is also sticky. Zap! Bye-bye, fly! Brightly colored tree frogs have poisonous skin that no predator wants to eat. Their colors advertise their poisons. Watch out, they seem to be saying. You don't want to eat me. But many kinds of tree frogs are not toxic, and they would make a fine meal for a snake or an owl. For these frogs, their defense is in their camouflage. Gray tree frogs have rough, bumpy gray-green skin with dark patches. Against trees blotched with moss and lichen, they practically disappear. When a gray tree frog moves from a dark trunk to lighter colored leaves, its skin turns light green. Most of the time, the gray tree frog's camouflage works, but once in a while, the predator's eyes are better than the tree frog's disguise. And that would be true of any creature that has camouflage. Yeah. Spots. Spots, spots, we've got lots. Not checks or stripes or polka dots, not pointy stars or red race cars, not rainbow arcs or great white sharks. In this field of white clover, we're covered all over with spotty and white patches, so no one can catch us. On weak, wobbly legs, we can't run away, so we'll hide with our spots till we're bigger someday. This one I didn't think is too hard, but we can see in color. Within a few hours of birth, a baby deer can stand up and graze in the meadow, but with its weak and spindly legs, it may not be able to outrun predators. The fawn is safer if it can hide from danger instead. The spots on these fawns' coats make them hard to find. Imagine what this field looks like to a predator. Coyotes, bobcats, and other members of the dog and cat families only see in black and white. They may not notice the brown spotted fur of a small fawn against a field of green grass, especially when the field is dotted with wildflowers. By the end of their first year, these two young deer will be swift, that means really fast, runners. They will no longer need to hide, so the spots on their coats will fade away. Silent and still. I'm silent and still till I leap out and pounce. Even prey twice my size I can easily trounce. To feast on a rabbit, a rat, or a mole, I stalk it, then capture it deep in its hole. In the warm summer months, my coat is dark brown. Then as winter arrives, I don a white gown. I can hide in full view without caution or fear. In this snow-covered field, I just disappear. This one's a little trickier. I had a hard time finding it at first. Do you see it? Alert and watchful, the weasel. A snow-white weasel perched on a dry stalk waiting to pounce on unsuspecting prey. Weasels are small, speedy, and strong. They are fearless hunters who can take on animals much larger than themselves. Pound for pound, they are among the most ferocious of predators. Some weasels have different wardrobes for summer and winter. As days grow short and brisk in northern areas, the short-tailed weasel, or ermine, trades its chocolate brown coat for a white one. Only its black-tipped tail stays dark. Now the small predator can lie in wait or prowl silently in the snow, unnoticed by the rodent who might become its next meal. A weasel eats almost half its weight in food each day. This is like a 100-pound person eating 50 pounds of hamburgers every day. That's 200 quarter-pounders. Imagine how many more mice and rats would be running around if it weren't for weasels. Because of their cunning and disguise, Weasels are rarely seen by humans, yet every day of the year they are out in the grasslands, woods, marshes, and fields doing the important work of predators. Whoops. Wings outspread, flitting, darting, zigzag flight, blurring wing beats in the night, resting outspread wings of white, blend with birch bark by day's light. Well, at first I thought it was a bat because it said zigzag. Man, I don't see this one. Oh, there it is. Wow, that one's tricky. Right there. Moths are nocturnal. They fly and feed at night. Some are expert flyers who can evade even the fastest bats. But during the day, a resting moth is easy prey for hungry birds. By blending into its surroundings, a moth that is well camouflaged can sleep undisturbed. The larvae of certain moths are called inchworms. These moths are known as geometers, meaning earth measurers. As a larva inches its way along a twig, it seems to be measuring it. In England, more than a century ago, a kind of geometer called the pepper moth had light-colored wings that were peppered with dark specks. Pepper moths hid well on light-barked trees, blotched with grayish lichen. After factories began to pollute the air in industrial cities, soot from the smokestacks darkened the tree bark. In some areas, the moth populations evolved to be darker, matching the trees on which they rested. By doing this, they continued to evade birds looking for a mothy meal. There's a lot of alliteration. Speckled treasures lie bare upon pebbled bank, fragile life within. Well, it says fragile life within. I'm guessing it's some sort of egg. Do you see any eggs? I wonder if this is the killdeer. It is! We have these birds in Indiana. Right down here are the eggs. I'm going to turn it back so you can look again. Oh my goodness, they look just like rocks. I've seen these nests in Indiana. My sister had one at her house, and the bird, well, let's see if it tells us. Killdeer eggs. Where does a mother bird lay her eggs? In a nest of twigs, perhaps, or in the protective hole of a tree or cliff. But there are also birds who lay their eggs in open places. A nest would catch the eye of a predator, leading it to the precious eggs. Shorebirds lay their speckled eggs directly on a stony beach or riverbank. The color and pattern of the eggs match the pebbly ground. A raccoon walking on the beach or a gull flying overhead would probably pass right by. No eggs for breakfast today. The killdeer is a shorebird, but it often lives inland, far from shore. Like other shorebirds, killdeer mothers nest in stony places where their dappled eggs are hard to see. But the killdeer has another trick as well. If a predator comes too close to a killdeer sitting on her eggs, the mother flies off. "Killdeer! Killdeer!" she shrieks, distracting the hungry hunter. Then the mother drops to the ground, holding one wing at an awkward angle. Fooled into thinking that the bird's wing is broken, the predator chases her. But as it nears, she takes off again, screeching, "Killdeer! Killdeer! Killdeer!" By now, the confused predator is far from the eggs, which continue to lie safely in plain sight. And that's exactly what happened at my sister's house. The bird flew up and pretended to have a broken wing, and we didn't chase it because we weren't trying to eat her, but it was certainly interesting to watch. Motionless. Motionless on yellow blooms I hide, blending in so well I can't be spied. Poised to strike, for days or weeks I lie, till a careless fly alights nearby. Lashing out, I quickly snatch the fly, pierce its back, and swiftly suck it dry. Ooh, that sounds unpleasant. Once again, I lie in wait for prey, camouflage, and patience are my way. Now, I'm going to show you the font, or the writing, and if you notice, kind of looks like a certain kind of critter. What do you think? We're definitely looking for a spider. Do you see it? Ooh, it's tiny. Right there. It's a crab spider. Some spiders spin webs to trap their prey. Others take mighty leaps and pounce upon their prey. Crab spiders sit on leaves or flowers and wait, and wait, and wait. With its powerful forelegs, a crab spider can grab any insect unlucky enough to land within striking distance. Nectar-feeding bees are its frequent victims. The spider's quick venomous bite kills the bee before it can defend itself. Soon the predator will suck out the bee's insides, leaving nothing but an empty exoskeleton. Crab spiders, so named because, well, they walk sideways like a crab, are masters of ambush because they are masters of camouflage. On yellow petals, a yellow crab spider is nearly invisible. As spring turns to summer and summer to fall, the crab spider scuttles to new hunting grounds, often changing colors to match the flowers of a new season. How fun would that be to change the color of your ensemble based on the weather? Eyes on one side. I taste so delicious, the fisherman wishes to catch me and make me his meal. So upward I look in fear of a hook attached to a rod and a reel. I can turn tan or brown as I lie belly down on the seafloor through low and high tide. Even stranger than that, I am totally flat with both of my eyes on one side. I once swam about like a bass or a trout till I made my home here on the bottom. When a small fry swims by, I am fast on the fly, and with one sudden move, I got him. So a fish with two eyes on one side. How bizarre. There it is. Whoops, I'm going to close it. Flounder. A flounder fish has covered itself with sand. It lies flat on the ocean floor with only its bulging eyes sticking out. Spotting a small fish, the flounder darts out to catch it. This fish's sharp vision notices the color of the seabed and changes its skin color to match. In a matter of minutes, it can go from a tan to a gray or brown to black, while its belly stays white. Flounders are not born flat. As larvae, they have an eye on each side of the head and swim about just like other fish. But through metamorphosis, the larva's body flattens. As it grows into an adult, one eye migrates, that means moves over, to the other side of its head, and the fish moves to the ocean bottom. The flounder shown here is called a winter flounder, or lemon sole. It has both eyes on the right side of its body. A larger flatfish, the summer flounder, has its eyes on the left side. A flounder's unusual body shape and its ability to change color keep it well hidden, both from predators and from unsuspecting prey. But camouflage will not prevent it from being fooled by a worm dangling on the end of a hook. Serpentine. Ooh, look at the font on this one. What do you think it's going to be? Silently gliding, slithering and sliding. Ooh, listen to that alliteration. Silently slithering, sliding. In the grass hiding, coiled and cunning, swift and stunning. On a rock sunning, long and lean, smooth and green, serpentine. Do you see it? There it is. That is a bright green. Green snake. With its smooth green scales, this snake easily blends with grass and other plants of the meadow, forest, or garden. Camouflage helps it avoid becoming lunch for a coyote or a badger, and camouflage also helps the snake find its own lunch. Spiders, grasshoppers, worms, and caterpillars may not see it coming. The non-poisonous green snake is not as secretive as many other snakes, but when you approach one, it will likely slip away for a short distance, then stop and sway gently like grass blowing in the breeze. In the winter, green snakes hibernate in burrows and rock crevices. With warmer spring temperatures, they come out of hiding to mate. The females lay soft, leathery eggs in protected places, such as hollow logs. Parents do not guard their eggs or look after their young. When a baby snake is ready to hatch, it cuts through the shell with a sharp egg tooth on the front of its head. Then it wriggles out and slithers off into the world. That would be a behavioral adaptation that is not learned. It's instinct. Nobody taught that egg what to do. Vagabond. I'm now a forest vagabond, but I was born within a pond. I hatched from one of many eggs. I swam around. I had no legs. I grew and changed to look like this. They call that metamorphosis. With lungs to breathe and legs to stand, I walk about upon dry land. If you should see me on a hike, you may think I'm lizard-like, but I'm no reptile. Think again. I'm really an amphibian. Okay, so the clues say, makes me think as a frog, except that, ooh, it's a pretty one. Look right there, it matches the leaves. Red Spotted Newt. Newts, like all salamanders, are amphibians, which in Greek means double life. They begin life in the water and then change into a new form to live on land. This process is called metamorphosis. Red spotted newts hatch from eggs laid in the ponds and streams of eastern North America. The larvae look like chubby greenish-brown fish with long tails, no legs, and bright red spots. They breathe through gills. After a few weeks, the larvae begin to grow legs and lungs. Their smooth, velvety skin turns orange or reddish-brown, and they crawl out of the water to live in the forest. During this phase, they are called red efts. Because efts and adult newts look so different, for many years scientists did not realize they were the same species. The ef's skin contains chemicals, and its bright color warns many predators to keep away. Others, including raccoons, don't seem to mind the toxins, but on a forest floor littered with bright red leaves, a predator would have a hard time spotting a bright red eft. After several years, the forest-dwelling eft goes through another metamorphosis. It sheds its skin and turns olive green. Its legs shrink, and its skin and I reread that sentence. Its legs shrink and its tail thickens. Now it is an adult newt, and it returns to the water, possibly the very same pond where it hatched years ago. There it breeds and lays eggs, and the life cycle of the newt begins anew. And then there's the ladybug. Here I am. Thanks for listening. We'll be talking animal adaptations soon.